Okay, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what Rich and I were discovering. Um, so the insole is in there, just laying in there, and this is the issue. When you slide it in, this is sticky because the insole won't be so sticky. But when you slide it in, it goes in pretty well. But and it's a little sticky. But here's the key: is when you take it out. We talked about this. When you take it out, you tend to roll your foot up. When you're rolling your foot up, it's just ripping that. Now, it's one of those catch-22 things. We want it to hold very well, and it does. It holds very well. But the problem with the holding well is it holds too well. And now we do this, and we're just going to rip these things off. We just go like that. You just rip them off. And we talked about that. So we carved down like we suggested. We actually took off. It's hard to show. There's a section right there. Very hard to show. Let's see if I can zoom it in. Sorry about that. Right there. That material right there goes in between this right here. It hooks around that. So we thought, oh, we'll just make it so we take that section out, that little web that sticks in there. And we did that. But even when we did that, it's still, even though you could easily slide it out now, I'll zoom out, sorry. We could easily slide it out if we wanted to, because that web was gone. But what we noticed is no one's going to really just slide their foot out. They're going to roll it out. So it still was going to push this up. So we decided to modify the cover. And what we did is we basically just cut that section off. I'll zoom in again. We just cut that whole top piece off. And what's nice about this is Nadia's corner makes it stiff, so it tends to not pull off as much. So when you pull this in, now these guys aren't doing anything, and it can roll off. If you can see, it'll roll off, right? Some of the things that we were concerned about was when you come in, what happens if you come in like this on top? I'll zoom out again. If you come in like that, it's fine, right? But what happens if you come in like this and you're over the top of it or something like that? So this whole area has always been our concern, but it is really the basis of the whole reason you're doing this, I believe, is this cover. So this cover has to be right. It has to go on easy and come off easy when you want it to. So we're trying to figure this part out. Now maybe that's enough. I'm not sure, but we had an idea, or Rich had this idea of making the toe kind of like that Yuli. The toe come around like that. And what that toe does is it makes this area stiffer so it doesn't roll off. And that's one of the things we wanted to do, is make sure this doesn't roll off. I'm pulling on that pretty hard. But it also might make it so if you have the toe there with just a little bit of a catch, kind of like you have a catch back here, with a little bit of catch on the toe, but it keeps this so you can't really pull on it because it's stiff. It actually makes it stiffer with a toe slightly coming around there. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at. I wanted to be able to show you this video ahead of time, ahead of the meeting, so we have a jump on it. So I don't have to explain it all in the meeting. It'll be a little bit difficult there. But that's it. This toe area is the area that is probably the biggest concern of anything that we're trying to work on. All the other stuff, they're easy to do, and we can talk about that. But this area of the toe really needs some work, and to get that figured out. I'll send this video, and then we can talk on Tuesday.